Welcome, I'm Janet Melrose and I'm a horticultural therapist. So people say to me, what the heck is a horticultural therapist? And really what I'm doing is I'm using gardening as a way to increase or promote health and wellness for adults and for children, of course. And one of the important things for us to learn, especially when we're talking food literacy and gardening together, is what parts of the plant do we actually eat? Because if you talk about the parts that we eat we don't know. We don't know all of the really what we're eating, where it comes from, what part it is. And that's going to really change, how we garden and also our appreciation for the food that we eat. So we really want to dig into what are we growing and why are we growing it and what parts are we going to eat. So one of the purposes of integrating gardening with cooking skills, food literacy, is it's the flip, of course. So one of the things that we need to encourage people to learn is what parts of the plant that they are going to eat is more than just what they're eating. So for instance, when you demonstrate a carrot, what part of this do we eat? And people will always say, the kids will always say, the carrot, the orange thing, right? So what you do is you say, okay, no, it's not just the carrot. Do we eat the leaves of the carrot? Do we eat the flowers? Do we eat the root? And then everybody will say, the root. All right, so carrots are roots. The next thing is we need to sort of look at lettuce, for instance. And I love using a living lettuce if you've got one handy because you can see the roots, whereas most lettuces you get from the store, you don't see those leaves, the roots, you just see the leaves. So you ask a child, what part of the lettuce are we eating? And they'll say, the green part, or lettuce. And you say, no, what we're eating, do we eat the roots? No. Do we eat flowers? No. But if you take a leaf off and you say, no, we eat the leaves. And they go, leaves. So that's leaves, okay? So then you say, all right, now we're gonna get really fancy. What part of celery do we eat? And so of course they're going to say the green part, okay? And I say, okay, well, celery, do we eat the leaves? No, we don't eat the leaves. Well, I said you could if you wanted to, but we don't eat the roots because not much of a root. But if you take one of these guys off, we're eating a celery stalk. And so now, and then if you want to, you can talk about ants on a log, or cheese on celery if you want to, just to integrate it part back into the food that we're going to eat. So celery stalks. Then go really fancy. An onion looks like it's going to be a root, right? Because it's round, just like a potato is a root too. But onions, we eat the leaves. So if I was to slice this in half, you can literally see the leaves inside. But you can even go further with broccoli. So what part of broccoli were you going to eat? So the kids are going to say, the green part. Or they're going to say broccoli. And I say, no, these are actually flowers. They just haven't opened up yet. They're florets. And they go, ooh, all right. And then if you've got a dip, you can take one off and you just dip it in and munch, 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 right? Then the last one is always the kicker. And that's, what is a tomato? What part of the tomato were you eating? And they'll say, the red part. And I say, okay, are we eating a tomato leaf? No, we're not eating a tomato leaf. And actually, we don't want to eat tomato leaves because they make you sick to your stomach. But what is this? And they'll say, they'll say, I said, is this a vegetable or is it a fruit? They'll say, vegetable. And I said, well, actually, it's a fruit. Because this was where the flower was, and now this is the flesh and inside of the seeds. So you're eating a fruit. And if you wanted to, you could just take a bite out of your tomato if you want to, right? So you really want to encourage the children to think about whatever it is that they're eating. What part is it that they're eating? Is it kale? Then it's a leaf. If it's a pepper, then it's a fruit. If it's a potato salad, you're eating the roots of the plant. And that way they're going to start being curious about the parts of the plant, which then gets us into the growing of them. Because how do you harvest a carrot? Well, you dig it out of the ground and eat the root, and likewise your potato. But to harvest a lettuce, all you have to do is take off the leaves. So it really does change how we view our food, how it comes from, and how we can grow it better.